Hi guys, hope you're all enjoying your day. I'm having a fantastic day. It is getting a little bit warm. The first half of it was quite cool, but now it's getting a bit of warm, but that's okay. I just want to talk to you about how I found this patch. After weeks and weeks of research on Trilobite, I then found a place that potentially could be holding gold. So, you know, went out there one day, did a bit of exploration. Just what I mean by that is driving around, having a look, seeing what the ground looks like, seeing what's on it. And I came across some old timer workings, quite a few actually, about 8 in total, which is always good. So I'll show you what I mean. Turn this. So up through there we've got some workings, but we've got one here. I think this is an old timer working of some sort anyway. And if you follow this, you'll have a look. Not too much rocks at the moment. You got bits of ironstone, bit of quartz. They're not too big, not as scattered as much. As we go further on, they start getting a bit chunkier. You start getting a bit bigger quartz, more rocks. They're only rocks, but they're very mineralized. So when I look at them, a lot of ironstone, a lot of iron through it, manganese. It's that dirty quartz. Well, you see they start getting a bit chunkier. They get a bit bigger. They're not as water worn, so they haven't travelled far. And then obviously you've got it working here. It's an old timer's pit. Anyhow, so that one working led me to this one. And if we carry on, it continues this way. And there you go, got more quartz, big rocks. Tells me there once was a reef here. And basically the next one's about 50 meters that way. And then they start, I think the next one's about 50 meters up, and then you'll get another one 50 meters up, and then you have 2 or 3 or 4 20 meters apart. So that's what I come across, and I basically found the ones that were 20 meters apart. And I seen that they all ran in a line. Now, how am I best gonna explain this? I might have to draw you like a little map. Let me see. There's a stick. Forgive me. My drawings, I am nowhere near, but let's say that's the lease. And you got a road going down the lease. Basically, you've got old timer working here, another one here, another one here. They're about 50 meters apart. You've got one here, one here, one here. They sort of run both sides of the road. And then they start getting 20 meters apart, 20 meters apart. So, road, working, and then they start getting further apart. Now, they sort of run in a straight line. So, that's what I came across. Where they were running 20 meters apart, I said, that's probably a good place to start looking. They were 2 different types of rock types. So you had your CZL ground along with your basalt, and they were sort of clashing. Had some faults there as well, so it looked good. Anyway, I thought that's the best way to start. So how do I start searching? I'll show you what I mean. So we've parked up somewhere in between one of the old-timer workings, and basically what I do is I try and do like a spider web, and I'll walk 50 meters, maybe 100 meters, doesn't matter. I'll just walk out and then I'll come back, and then I'll walk out and then I'll come back, and I might walk out that way and come back this way, and I'll go for like 100 meters and I'll come back down, and I'll sort of zigzag across. And so I did that in that area and picked up some gold. And then, you know, another day we came up here and sort of did the same thing and picked up some gold. Went across the road, did the same thing. Didn't get too much across the road, was more finding it on this side. Went up here, was more workings round the back here, and these workings sort of all run in a line along here. And so we, you know, spider webbed across and see where we got. You know, I hit like a 5 nugget patch there and a 12 nugget patch here, and, you know, 25, 26 nugget patch here. That was good. And as I was coming up, I was getting bigger, more gold. It started off as a 5 nugget patch, and then a 7, 12 nugget patch, and then as I came up, started picking up more gold. And as I said to you, the workings were running in a line, so that's sort of what I was doing until I got to the very top, where I call the start of the workings. And so I went to the start of the workings, and then I started doing the spider web. So going out, come back, going out, come back, going out, come back, and then bang, I walked into a patch which was holding about 3.5, maybe 4 ounces. And funny enough, it was just in one area, just in a small area, probably 20 meters by 10 meters, very small, and it held a few ounces. And so cleaned that out, put a 7 over it, got a couple more, not too much more. And then what did I do next? That is when I, instead of doing, I'll show you again. So, had a little area there. Let's just say got 4 ounces. It was 3.5, 4 ounces. All right. Then instead of walking out, coming back, walking out, coming back, instead of doing that, what I've started doing now, and this is what I've been doing for the last 2 days. And the first day I found 4.5 grams. Next day I found 6 grams. All I'm doing now is walking around, and I'm chaining meter by meter. I'm going around, meter by meter, and I'm going around, meter by meter, and I'm going around. And I'm slowly branching out. I'm probably going to do that 200 meters. And as I'm walking around, I'm just trying to extend the patch. And so the first day we got 4.5 grams. Next day we got 6 grams. And I'm only about, maybe 20 meters now, I think, roughly 25 meters. Just slowly going out, slowly going around, and I'm working around it. Next thing I'm yet to do is come here. So you've seen over there was the first bit of workings, and then now we've got another bit of workings over here, and you see these rocks, and they're sort of running this way. I'll show you. So there's the workings there, and you've got the rocks, and they sort of run this way, and they're running back that way. Now I haven't done too much detecting in this area, so once I start finishing that area, going around and around, I said 200 meters, I'll probably do it for 100. Once the gold starts getting more scarce, then I'll probably stop, go a few more meters, then stop. But yeah, I'm still yet to come. So where am I going to start here? Well, you've got your workings and you see the rocks. So what that's telling me is, and these rocks are all running towards the next shaft. So that's my direction. that's the way I walk. Now, you might not get them right near the shaft, but you might not get them on top of these rocks, but you will get them towards the edge. Maybe. And so sometimes you get them 5 meters off the edge. Sometimes it'll be 10, sometimes it'll be 15. What I do know is all these workings are all in the same line, and you got these rocks, and you follow these rocks, and the closer you get to the shafts, the bigger the rocks are, and the further away they start getting a little bit more smaller, a bit more broken down and decomposed a bit more. So that's my direction, that's the way I walk, and I'll check either side, and I can just do my spider webs, or I can just follow them in a straight line and then come back up and then go back down and come back up and go back down. Anyway, that's one of the ways I do it. That's how I found this particular spot. Now, with saying all that, I don't mean that you go to any lease and then you find some old timer workings, and then you do what I did. You're going to find gold, because you might not. There might be nothing there, and you know, I might go do this on another lease and I'll find nothing. But one thing is for sure, I like to first of all do my research. Is it good ground? Would it be gold bearing? Potentially, yes. Okay, and I go out there and I find a starting point, and as I said, for me, once I'm done with the patch, I'll be coming to this exact same spot. So I've got the working there, I've got another working there, I've got another one there, and there's one about 50 meters up, and there's another one about 50 meters that way. And as I said, you can see these rocks, and the closer they are to the workings, the more bigger they are, as you can see, and they're bigger, and as we go out, they get smaller. As we go out, they get smaller. That's my starting point. I'm going to start there, and I'm just going to probably work in the surrounding area, maybe in between the two shafts, and I'll be following these rocks, see which way they're weathering, see which way they're running, and then, you know, I actually just seen that, but if I zoom in, there's another working just there. So, I mean, they're all running basically in a straight line. They might not be identically straight, but they're basically in a straight line. So that's what I'm following these rocks, and they're only rocks. I know they're only rocks, but that's what I do. That's what I do. It doesn't work on all places, but it certainly worked for me here. And this is my next area. This is where I'm going to be looking next. I am going to be just exploring in this area. Sometimes I'll do the spider web. As I said, I just walk 50 meters, maybe 100 meters up, come back to the car, or close to the car, and then walk back out again and come back, and walk back out and come back, and as you pick up nuggets, you'll pick up nuggets, and you'll find, you might pick one up straight away, and you'll pick up another one, and then you'll walk for 20-30 meters and you won't find anything, but then you'll find another one, and you keep doing that till you develop a spider web. And then once you develop a spider web, you keep marking those gold finds on your trilobite, keep marking them, and then eventually you look at your gold finds and you start developing patterns, and you start seeing which way the gold's running, and you start seeing areas where you're finding them the most, and then you go back to those areas that you're finding them the most and look at the geology, look at the ground. What is it telling you? What's different? Why am I finding it more here than over there? You know, and this is something I'm playing with myself, because where I am, the ground's pretty flat. There's not too much hills. It's pretty flat, and the area I found, the 3.5-4 ounces, is a very flat area, very similar to all the other ground, but the gold was just in a very small pocket, and I keep thinking to myself, why is it only there and not, you know, as I said, it's like a 20 by 10 meter space, very small, and there was a few ounces there, and why is it only there? On the surface, looks very flat, and I go, why is it there? And this is where I think out the box anyway. What I believe it is on the surface it may look flat, but under the ground where I can't see, there's a little indent. There's a little indent, and so the gold's washed into there, and now it can't escape. It's just stuck in there. Exactly what it is, a little pocket underneath the ground. That's what it has to be. I mean, it can't be anything else. Otherwise, it would have surely would have washed out, and I would have found it in a 20 by 10 meter space. I might find it in a 50 by 30 meter space, but no, it's only a 20 by 10 on your small little area. So underneath the ground's got to be a little pocket, and so that's another reason why I'm walking around. So once I've cleaned it out already, but that's why I'm walking round in circles, and I'm doing meter by meter, and then branching out up to 100 meters, because you could find another little pocket. And I did. The last I got 4 grams, then I got 6 grams. Today it's getting a little bit more scarce. But as I progress, I should hit another pocket. Hopefully. Might not. This is what worked for me. This is how I found the patch. Hopefully you understand it. Hopefully I've done a good job articulating it. Done my best. Anyhow, that's just one of the ways I do things. That's just one of the ways. As I said, there's no right way or wrong way to this. It's just what worked for me, and it worked really well. And so yeah, hopefully you liked the video, guys. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully it's been informative. Hopefully I've done a good job. If I haven't, please put it in the comments and tell me what I done wrong or what I didn't explain enough of. Put it all in the comments. But if it's been informative and you like the video, then hit that like and subscribe button. That puts a smile on my face. So yeah, hope you have a good day. Hopefully it's been informative, and I'll see you on the next one. Be tuned. I will put a video, not a video, I'll put a photo up of how much gold we found today. So far we're doing alright. When I say alright, I've paid the cost for the day, so covered costs for the day, so I'm happy with that. Any day I do that, it's good. But yeah, anyway, we keep going. It gives when it wants to give, and it makes you work for it other days, like today. But all good. So thanks, guys. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Thank you. See you on the next one. Bye for now.